Alrighty. Does someone want to just pop in the chat if anyone jumps in anytime soon, if they can hear me? We won't kick things off until 6 p.m. Give everyone a chance to jump in, but I think Chevs, you're in the chat before. Just checking my mic is all good. Just let me know. Hey Cheryl, good to see you. You can hear the mic, that's good. We won't jump too heavy into it until a few more come in. But if you do have any questions whilst we are waiting, we can use this next 5 minutes to answer some of those. But the layout of tonight, I've got a PowerPoint presentation which we're going to be going backwards and forwards between loud and clear, beautiful. We're going to be going backwards and forwards between the live slideshow and also doing some demonstrations on DeFi platforms that we're using at the moment. Um, I'll wait. If you guys want to pop in the chat, just let me know that you are in here. Seeing a fair few people join now, which is great. Pretty excited about tonight as well. A lot of the Trading Academy members have come across to the DeFi side over the past couple of months. So I think we're about 80% of Trading Academy members are now all a part of the DeFi course and DeFi Academy too. So that's awesome, guys. We'll get the last 20% across as well, which would be great. And the more the merrier. But the good thing for people who have started in the past week or so is there's a lot of people around you who are in the exact same position. On top of that, we've also got a lot of DeFi students that started with us 1, 2 years ago and have now really built out their portfolios. So you'll see those students in the Discord. Make sure that you're engaging with them, talking with them. They've been through everything that you guys are going through right now. This presentation is probably tailored a little bit more towards beginners, but bear in mind, there's definitely students who, bought the course 6 months ago and still haven't got all the way through the course. Some things have come up and maybe they haven't built the confidence to actually put some plays out. So that's one of the main reasons we're doing the AMA tonight is to really boost everyone up, get everyone getting at least their first position in. And as always, it doesn't mean you have to put your entire altcoin portfolio into DeFi. You can start really, really small. You could start with just $50 to $100. You don't have to worry about putting in tens of thousands of dollars straight away. As you build your confidence, that's when you can start adding funds into it. So I reckon we will kick things off. Great to see everyone in there. Thanks for posting. Choke on water before we start. That's just great. We'll just give it a little couple of minutes for me to swallow that water first. um, and also for everyone else to get in.
Mic off. Mic on.
Suppose I'll also mention, guys, Hish is in the chat as well. So all of you guys know Hish from the DeFi Academy. If you have any questions for Hish as we're going through, he's going to be able to answer those. Nat, Kalia, great to see you. It's really awesome having you guys jump across. Love the excitement you guys are bringing to the DeFi course and community. For those who just joined, sorry, I just choked on water before, so my vocal cords will settle soon. But let's get into it. All right, so tonight we are going through the DeFi Live AMA. Ask me anything. I've got a bit of a presentation I want to get through, and there's a various topics that we're going to be covering. First of all, the main topic that I want to go over at the start is just recapping the course and the academy. Everyone who's purchased the course Hopefully you have gone ahead and got onto the DeFi Academy. If you've only got the course, feel free to reach out at the end of this session and I can talk to you about what the Academy is. We're actually going to go through what the Academy involves now. But those of you who have been on the course for some time, and maybe you haven't for some reason been aware of the Academy, I'm going to do a bit of a run through and show you what that is all about. Um, we're also going to be going into managing your portfolio, such a key thing when you're getting into DeFi. It's a little bit different to managing just an investment portfolio of long-term holds and maybe some short-term trades as well. Obviously, you've got yields coming in, which you have a lot of decisions to make what you're going to do with those. Are you going to recompound those back into existing positions? Are you going to sell them, stockpile the stable coin for rainy days? We'll go into all that soon, but yeah, we're going to tap on the main softwares that I use to manage a DeFi portfolio that Hish is using and our more experienced users are using, as well as a few other websites that we use too. Of course, we're going to be doing a few LP examples. I've actually set up a MetaMask wallet for tonight, which I've allocated some funds to on Sonic and Ethereum. So I'm going to get that up on the screen. I'm actually going to go from the process of transferring money from CoinStash over to a MetaMask or Rabi wallet and show you guys how to set up an LP position if you haven't already. As we're doing that, if you guys are game and you haven't done it before, you could try and follow it along, but I would probably recommend just watch for tonight. I'm going to post this later date, probably tomorrow morning, so you can rewatch it then, record back whatever you need. But we will get through it all. So try just to tune in tonight, jump into the chat. As I say, Hish is in there, use him. Perfect opportunity as I'm going through everything to speak with Hish about everything. If I don't see the chat, it's actually on the other screen, so I'm mostly going to focus on what I'm doing, but I'll check in on the chat every now and then as we go through the slides. Finally, the old impermanent loss scares a lot of people when they first get into DeFi. Peter, great to see you. Yeah, impermanent loss can be a little bit of a scary thing, but I'm going to show you tonight that although it's got a negative connotation to it, you can actually use impermanent loss to your advantage to create strategies. And also, impermanent loss is really not as bad as what it's made out to be in terms of the opportunity cost. It actually is quite minuscule if you use correlated assets or you're just not getting into assets that are going and dumping into oblivion. And of course, we would never intentionally get you into assets like that. But usually, as you probably see, we focus on more high value assets. So without any further ado, let's get into it and go into recapping the DeFi course and the DeFi Academy. Um, Basically, the two screenshots on the right hand side of the screen right now, those are your central points of contact when you're dealing with the DeFi course or the DeFi Academy, sorry. Basically, let's have a look at the course first and just recap a few areas. For those of you who haven't started yet, please get into it as soon as you can. There's no rush to obviously finish the course in a weekend or a night or anything like that. However, you could get through it in a matter of a couple hours a night over a week, or 15 minutes a night over 3 weeks is usually around what I recommend. But as I'm going to show you in the DeFi course, there's really everything that you need to start just setting up your first positions is probably covered in the first few modules. So if you get that far, you can then start using the DeFi Academy, which I'm going to go through soon, using Hish as a brilliant resource. And he's going to actually be able to help you just, stepping stone through from just having money on exchange to actually finally getting it onto a MetaMask wallet and actually starting to, or a Rabi wallet, and starting to actually earn yield on your positions. Just recapping, I was going to put my phone on silent. Give me 1 second. So just recapping the first modules of the course, obviously forward, an introduction is the key things to get through at the start. Once you get through the introduction, by now you should actually have a pretty good understanding of what DeFi is all about. You're looking at things like exchanges, what DeFi actually is, what APR and APY is, that's essentially yields. You're looking at what different chains are, governance, etc. Get through that, and now you should be in a position to go, okay, I'm starting to see what real crypto or decentralized finance is all about. Then you're going to start getting into the risk and risk management. And this is where you're going to have a lot more confidence to really engage in liquidity pools without thinking, or what are the potential ups and downs that could occur. So you're going to be looking at things like impermanent loss, which there's a whole section of this AMA. I'm going to go into that. You're going to be looking at things like opportunity costs, custody risk, all these types of things. So get through that as quick as you can. And, in your first night, if you guys haven't got up to here in the course already, try set it as a goal by the end of this week to get through that. After that, you're going to get into the main DeFi functions, yield farming, bribes, and airdrops. And once you finish this section, this is where, if you're comfortable, I would recommend messaging Hish and in the chats and say, hey, I'm keen to actually set up my first positions. Make your way through the rest of the course. Of course, this is going to really upskill you and teach you the more specifics of how everything's working. And as I say, there's not we don't like making unnecessary content. What we've put in here is enough to get you ready to start managing your portfolio. Just to remind you, 15 minutes a night over 3 weeks, and you should be able to get all this done, or a couple hours over a few nights, and I think you'll be able to all get it done. Okay. Now, exciting news: we are actually doing a revamp of the whole course. Which is great. So don't stress and don't think that means, oh, I should wait for the revamp. Make your way through this course, because doing both would probably be helpful. But we are doing a whole revamp with new examples. A lot of the content will be updated. There's new things that have happened in DeFi since we first released the course. So Hish and I will be communicating with everyone, and make your way through all that. The course, awesome, Nat and Kalia. That's really, really good to hear. You guys only got onto it not too long ago, and I can already tell, Kalia, by the way that you're speaking in the chats, that you've got so much value out of the course, and you're starting to get to that position where you're ready to manage a portfolio in DeFi and start yield farming. So props to you guys. John as well, you've been unreal. You jumped on the course not too long ago as well. I've seen you already starting to set things up. Starting to earn yields, and I've been talking to you in the chats as well. So great job to you guys. There's more of you guys. I won't shout out everyone, but make your way through it, guys. Really enjoy it. DeFi is an exciting part of the cryptocurrency industry. It's really going to change you from being in the position where you're kind of thinking, oh, crypto's cool and I like it, to, wow, this is what this new world of finance is about. You're going to start really engaging in it. So alrighty, that's that. So that's the course. Just wanted to recap that. The next thing that we want to go through is the DeFi Academy, and let's make the distinction between the course and the academy. The course, all of you guys have lifetime access to. It's the content. It gives you everything that you need to go and engage in the world of DeFi. The DeFi Academy is where you get access to Hish, who is honestly one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met in DeFi, and he's also one of the most helpful people I've ever met in life, really. I use this example when I went to Italy last year. I really, turned away from crypto for just a little bit, which is unusual for me, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it was. And I came back and I was like, okay, there's a lot that's happened. Messaged Hish straight away and said, Hish, where are we up to? He had a look at my portfolio and just said, hey, do this, 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 this. And I was like, wow, okay, you're a lifesaver. Thank you so much. So use Hish, guys. He is there to help you. He loves doing what he does and he's brilliant at it. And I'm sure many of you already are, but I just wanted to rehash that. But how does the DeFi Academy work? So we've obviously got all of Hish's plays on the website. So let's go and have a look at that now. For those of you that don't know, you've got the DeFi Academy section here. So that's highlighted. You should all be able to see this. And what you're basically getting here is your play analysis, market updates, and then recent updates is a chronological order of everything that's been uploaded to the website. So if you go into this play analysis section, what you're going to see is all of the yield farming plays and all of the airdrop farming plays that Hish has posted. Okay, so if we go into DeFi yield farming plays here, you can see how to deposit into Sonic and Shadow. That's step-by-step instructions on how to set up one of the plays that we're actually going to do tonight. For those of you that prefer written format, there it is. That's all you need. Okay. So there is also how to create a MetaMask wallet and add it to the Sonic network. The list goes on. There's heaps of DeFi plays here. Of course, Hish is also posting them into the Discord. But to make sure, not everyone, can use the Discord as easy as others. So you never miss anything if you come into here. All the airdrop plays are going in here as well, and we're putting those fire emojis to let you know, how much earning potential there is on the airdrop. 2 is, pretty high. 3 is really high, like Hyperliquid, for example. So make sure you're checking in here. Hish is uploading those airdrop plays. And we will do a little bit more on airdrops later, and I'll go through the spreadsheet that Hish is putting together as well. Alrighty, that's it. Just showing you that Hish is uploading all the content to the website. If you weren't already aware of that, it's not just going into the Discord. Anything that's poured in is coming into this section here, so make sure you guys are using that. Now, market updates, Hish will be posting into here as well. So, once a month, usually he'll post into the market update section and just give you an idea of what's been going on in the broader landscape of things or any major updates to the service. And of course, one of my favorite features on the Imperial Wealth platform, and Trading Academy members will be used to this on the recent updates. Recent updates for DeFi, you can chronologically see anything that Hish has uploaded to the website. Okay, so if you've been away for some time, come into this recent updates, and you can see just yesterday there was something posted on level airdrop farming. You could click on that. It's going to take you straight to the post, and that you can now start reading about what that is and decide, do I want to get engaged with this? I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat. Awesome, mate, and you're a legend, mate, and we will turn you into a DeFi specialist yourself very, very soon. Don't worry about that. Everyone learns at a different pace, guys. Some people, you struggle with transactions at the start. Some people get straight into it and they're setting up liquidity pools. We're here to help you and just use all the resources we got. And yeah, reach out to Hish if you're struggling with anything. We're here to make things simple. I really struggled with DeFi at the start. This is going back years, wild, wild west of 2020, before DeFi summer. I didn't understand fully, that there was different networks and different chains and all these things were new. So I understand that you're in that position now. It's about overcoming that and getting comfortable with it. So hopefully tonight bolsters that up. All right, so that's a recap of the course and the academy. The other one to mention, I won't open Discord now because otherwise it would ding as we're going through the live stream. But this here is just a recap of the different channels that we have in the Discord and that relate to the DeFi Academy. So you've got your website updates, you've got your Academy chat, DeFi support, where if you're struggling with transactions or anything like that, you can go and pop the question into there of what you need to do, and Hish can help you. Airdrop alpha, airdrops that are ready to claim. That's an awesome one. Honestly, guys, there's been so many airdrops which I just would not know about if it wasn't for Hish. A great example was Wormhole, that was worth around 8,000 US dollars. I just wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for Hish. He sent it through to me, I claimed it. And yeah, that's the kind of resource that I know that seems maybe out of the stretch for you new guys right now, getting, $500 airdrops, $1,000 airdrops, but it happens in crypto. When you're starting to engage with these platforms, you're going to start opening yourself up, and don't feel like you've got to monitor every, channel on X or, previously known as Twitter, to be able to be updated of when airdrops are happening. Hish is going to bring those to your attention. Okay. So, really awesome feature there. And yeah, Hish, you've saved us or made us thousands and thousands of dollars, through your airdrop updates. That's pretty much it. Everything else there, pretty self-intuitive. DeFi course chat. New guys, please pop questions in there. If you're struggling with understanding anything in the course, I don't actually see too many questions in there, to be honest. So the course must be put together pretty well. But if you do struggle with anything, pop it in there. Or perhaps you guys are DMing Hish in the background. So that's fine as well. Okay. Alrighty, let's move on to managing a DeFi portfolio. I'll have a quick drink, guys. That's right, Chev. Yeah, the step-by-step, it is super, super helpful. And, even step-by-step instructions sometimes I struggle with. But having Hish there to be able to message and say, hey, I'm up to step 4, but, now I'm getting this error on my wallet. What do I do? Also helps so much. So I think for the 50th time tonight, make sure you use Hish when you're stuck. All right, guys, let's get into managing your DeFi portfolio. So, withdrawing from exchange to wallet. Let's go over to CoinStash, which we all love and which we all use. And let's have a look at what it looks like to withdraw coins that you're purchasing on CoinStash over to your wallet. Now, just to recap, MetaMask is an Ethereum virtual machine wallet. You can have the Ethereum network on here, the Phantom, which is the old Sonic network, the Sonic network, the Binance Smart Chain network, Arbitrum network. You can have all of those added into here. So all Ethereum virtual machine coins can be sent to MetaMask. Rabi is just the exact same thing. It's just an EVM wallet. You can have the exact same coins. You can actually import the exact same wallet and see the same stuff. Some people just prefer Rabi. I always say, people ask, why do you still use MetaMask? Honestly, just a bit old school. I've been in crypto since the beginning, and Rabi's more of a new wallet. So sometimes I just prefer the functionality of MetaMask, but I'm pretty confident Rabi is a better wallet now. So if you're starting out, probably start just using Rabi. The other wallet that I've got here is your Phantom wallet. So I recommend to use Phantom for Solana transactions, okay? So you can't just go and withdraw from CoinStash. You can't just go and withdraw Solana to MetaMask because it's not an EVM coin, okay? Now, the great thing about CoinStash is let's have a look at this, for example. Okay, so if we're bought Sonic, right, and we want to withdraw Sonic over to our MetaMask wallet, you can see here that the networks that it's allowing you to withdraw to is only Sonic. Okay, so you can't withdraw Sonic to any other network other than Sonic network. However, if we go and look at something like USDT, okay, the stablecoin, you'll notice that you can withdraw it to the Solana network, which obviously, if you were going to do that, you would need to get your Solana address from Phantom. Okay, you can't send Solana USDT to MetaMask. You could send it to the Ethereum network, so that can go to MetaMask or Rabi. Okay, and you'll notice that you've got that wallet address starting in 0x. That's when it's a dead giveaway that it's a Ethereum virtual machine wallet. Now, you can withdraw USDT to the Ethereum native network, or you could withdraw it to Arbitrum, okay? Now, Arbitrum, you would still just send it to the same wallet address as you do to Ethereum, but if you select Arbitrum here, it's going to appear on the Arbitrum network, not the Ethereum network. And the best way I can illustrate this to you, to the visual learners out there, is by looking at DeBank and basically showing you that, as you can see, this is my wallet address up here for this wallet that I've set up for these live sessions that I'm going to be doing. You've got the wallet address there, and you can see here that I can send Ethereum to here. I can send Pepe to that wallet address. And when I withdraw, I specify, do I want that Ethereum to land on the Ethereum network, or do I want that Ethereum to land on the Sonic network, or do I want that Ethereum to land on the Arbitrum network? So as you can see, when it's sitting in CoinStash, you have the choice to send it to whichever network. But if I chose Solana, I can't just send Solana to this 0x wallet. This, Solana is not an EVM or Ethereum virtual machine coin. You would have to go into your Phantom wallet, get the wallet address from there, and send it to there. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. This is one of the early hurdles that people face who are new to crypto or new to DeFi, is just understanding that Ethereum can exist on the Ethereum network, the Sonic network, the Arbitrum network. There's a thing called bridging. So say I have Ethereum on the Ethereum network, but I want to do a play that's on the Arbitrum network, I can actually bridge that Ethereum over to Arbitrum. A great bridging protocol to use is Jumper. So if you come in here, let's look at an example. I could select that I'm moving Ethereum network, and I'm moving Ethereum as the token. And then I want to send it to, this is saying Binance Smart Chain. and so maybe I could change it to Arbitrum, and I want it to land as Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum, or I could actually make a swap and make it land as USDC. It's up to me. In this case, let's just do Ethereum to Ethereum. And I could pop in here that I want 0.01 $20 worth of Ethereum to be bridged from the Ethereum network over to the Arbitrum network. And what that will do is it's going to send 0.01 of the 0.15 Ethereum that I have sitting in my Ethereum section. It's going to bridge that over to the Arbitrum section. Okay. So that's just a quick recap. Once I repost this, rewatch everything that I just said. There's also a section of the course that goes through all this, talking about chains. So revisit that. I'll quickly just go to it here. So introduction to DeFi, I think here, and chains, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, etc. So recap on your knowledge here, and then post into the Discord if you have any questions. Now, massive tip for you guys. The first time you do any transaction, always do a small amount. Okay? You don't need to go, okay, I want to send let's go to my portfolio that I have on exchange here. If I want to send this Sonic over to my MetaMask wallet, and I'm doing it for the first time, I don't have to send the full 4,000 Sonic. I can just go withdraw. I can send 100 of it or 10 of it, whatever the minimum is, and then I can withdraw it, and then I'll make sure that it lands in my wallet. And then I go, beautiful, I've done it right, I'm happy with it. Now I'll send the full 4,000, okay? Yes, Aiden, I know that happened to you recently with your Solana. It's happened to me early days before as well. We make mistakes, but please make sure your mistakes are small amounts where you can, okay? So test transactions, awesome. When we get into the example later on tonight where we're looking at Sonic, and we're looking at setting up this Sonic and Shadow position, we can do the exact same process with a small amount. Let's set it up with just $100 worth. Then once I've seen it's all worked, then I'll put the full 5,000 or whatever it is that I'm putting in. Okay. So let's get back to the outline of tonight. We've covered withdrawing from exchange to wallet. We've covered DBank, which is, honestly the biggest lifesaver in crypto. This wallet is a fresh wallet, yeah? So the next live AMA, we'll be adding positions onto this wallet as we go. But if I show you some of the more advanced wallets, even clients in here would be able to show you as well. They may have many plays on many chains going on. They don't just have a couple of things. They've got hundreds of thousands of dollars on Ethereum, Sonic, Arbitrum, Base, all these chains you've never heard about before, Mode, etc. And basically it starts to potentially get more complex, but it obviously becomes a lot more worth your time because you're making a lot more with those funds. But back on track, DeBank is going to save your life. My weekly process on every Wednesday usually is my DeFi morning because of the bribing, and we'll go into that later. But every Wednesday morning, I basically jump on, have a look at my positions and go, okay, I've made this much yield on Sonic and Shadow. I've made this much on Pepe and BNB, made this much from XYZ. I claim all those yields. I decide what I'm going to do with them, and then I move on with my day. And if it wasn't for DeBank, it could become hard to track where everything is. But because of DeBank, it's just all in the one place and so easy. I do a chain at a time, so I'll click on the Ethereum chain, look at all my plays, collect. You can even when we set up the Sonic and Shadow play tonight, which we will do. Once it's set up, I'll show you that you can actually click on the links and it will take you over to this website, and then you can literally go and claim the rewards, etc. But for the moment, we'll just keep finishing off this section that we're at. Okay. All right. So we've been over the IW analysis that Hish is putting out. DeFi Llama is probably the next platform that I want to go over regarding managing a portfolio, and then we'll quickly look at CoinMarketCap, which most of you probably know. So DeFi Llama is your library for DeFi plays. Outside of Hish, of course. Hish is probably a better library, but once you start getting into DeFi, you actually may want to start looking at your own potential plays that you're going to set up. And between DeFi Llama and Beefy, which we'll look at later, these are two great tools to look at what's available out there on the market. So we'll just do a quick example. You can come onto the website. You can come here to this yield section. Beautiful. Okay, I thought I potentially may have actually been offline for a second there, but that's good to hear that we're still going. Let's refresh that. So you can come into this pools and yield section, and what you can do is you can enter the coin of interest to you. So you might put in BTC, or you may put in Ethereum, whatever it might be. And what's the DeFi? Not sure why it's struggling to load right this very second. Usually no issues on it, but maybe let me try one more time. Maybe we'll come back to this one. Usually it's great to use, and you just put in BTC and it'll basically show you all of the BTC yield farming opportunities that are available at the current time. Might come back to this one, guys. I don't know why it's not loading. Give it one more go. Yeah, we'll come back to it. But yeah, you put in BTC in that section there, and it's going to show you a list per chain of where everything is. Okay. Coin market cap, obviously, this is this or CoinGecko is a really good tool for just seeing everything crypto related. Every now, I'm in the habit, I work in crypto full time. DeFi Llamas yield section. Yeah, thank you very much, Ish. You popped the link in there. I can put it there as well. Maybe you guys might be able to get that. We'll go back to it. All right, let's have a look back at CoinMarketCap. So as I'm saying, I'm in the habit of a few times a day just coming and checking what's going on for like the top 10 coins. You can put your portfolio in CoinMarketCap, and it'll actually show you. I'm not logged in at the moment, but it'll show you everything that you've got there and the changes in the positions, what's up, what's down. But I often like to just come here, and when I'm setting up plays, and we're going to look at something like BNB and Pepe later on, you can come and just type in Pepe and find out what the price of it is. A great tip as well, just going over. You can find the contract address, and you can also find out what chains it's supported on. So as you can see here, it's saying Pepe is, this is the contract address for Ethereum, and that's that 0x that I'm referring to. So I know that I can send that to MetaMask, and it even says here that you can send it to MetaMask. If we go look at something like Solana as an example, it's going to show us that, where is should show the contract address, the wallets that it's supported by, Trust Wallet, etc. I'm actually not sure where it's saying the contract address on this one. But you will be able to find it in there. It'll show you basically, you can head to the website as well. Something like, let's just look at another example, Arbitrum. It's going to show you the contract address, and then it'll also show you all of the other ones that are available for it as well. Okay, so really good tool just for finding out information about the coins. You can obviously see its market cap, volume. You can see its trading history, the price that it's been at, what it's at now. You can get all the information you need about pretty much all coins in the crypto market. The other one that we use for more heavy DeFi coins is DEX Scanner. So let's have a look at that one quickly. Things like, meme coins on the Solana network, sometimes they won't be on CoinMarketCap, and some new DeFi coins. So you can have a look at this one as well. And this is, you can check it out by chain. So if I go and let's have a look at the Sonic network. You can see the major decentralized exchanges on the network. So Shadow, Equalizer, you guys should be familiar with those. And you can even see some of the coins that are available on the network. Goggles, a meme coin that we're familiar with. Shadow, of course, you guys are familiar with. So yeah, you can explore the different networks and what's available through DEX Scanner. Okay. Alrighty, let's head back to the run sheet. So that's pretty much enough for that. The last one that we'll look at is on the Imperial Wealth website. So we've got here the DeFi tools section. Hish is building this out as we go, so there's a few more things we want to add to here. But things like Pocket Universe, John mentioned he's using there. This is like an insurance type add-on that you can add to your MetaMask wallets. DEX Scanner, I just mentioned that then. DeBank, we've been through that. So all of the tools we're talking about, we post them into here with a run sheet of what they're about. You can read more about them and you can get the links there. Okay. So brilliant tool or library for you guys. You know, if you're like watching and you're like, oh, we'll mention that DeBank thing. Can't remember exactly what it was. Come into this DeFi tool section, or of course, if in doubt, ask the chat. Alrighty, moving on. Let's get into the next section, which would be going into LP positions. Okay, so tonight we're actually going to do an LP position. We're going to set up Shadow and Sonic LP together. The reason why we're big on this as an LP position is because those of you who are in the Trading Academy, I won't actually go in there because not everyone who's on DeFi is actually in the Trading Academy, so that wouldn't be fair. But it is a high conviction token, the Sonic coin. So what we will do is let's look at the first step of that guide when you're setting up your first liquidity pool for Sonic and Shadow as an example would be probably easiest to just go and buy Sonic from CoinStash, okay? So as you can see, I've got some Sonic in here. What I would do is I would go to the trade section. If I didn't, say I uploaded some Australian dollars onto CoinStash, I would come to this trade section. I would type in here Sonic, and then I would basically find the Sonic coin, which is here. Come in here at the buy, sell, swap section. I would then go and purchase however much that I want. I can look at the chart first to see if it's a good time to buy, and it looks like it's probably is a pretty decent time to buy. You can see where some of my average buys were. It's sitting around about that level. And then you can come into the portfolio section and it'll land in here. Now, once you've got that, you can go to the withdraw button. You can withdraw to a Sonic address. You can go to your MetaMask wallet now. You can grab your MetaMask wallet address, which sits here, or if you're on Rabby, it sits up here, and you can paste it in. Now, you go next, rule number 1, as we all know, just send 10 or whatever the minimum is. 1, can we send? Yeah, we can send 0.09. Just send 1 Sonic, guys. Go, yes, send that, and then make sure you read over this. It's blockchain network. It's going to the Sonic network. We're withdrawing 1 Sonic. It's costing us 0.003 Sonic. Beautiful. It's cheap as chips. And then we're going to confirm that withdrawal, okay? Now, it may take 5 or 10 minutes to land. You put your 2-factor authentication in, and then you're done. Now the Sonic is going to land on your MetaMask wallet, and as I say, I always use DeBank to see what's going on with my MetaMask wallet. I actually rarely these days open the MetaMask wallet and look at what tokens I have. I just look at it through DeBank, and I encourage you guys to do that too. So once it lands in there, and let's just pretend that was the withdrawal we made. We've got the 20,000 odd Sonic that have landed in our wallet now. Now we go, beautiful. The next step of the guide is to basically head over to the Shadow exchange, okay? Now, for those of you who are very new and haven't used decentralized exchanges before, most decentralized exchanges are set out in this format now. Uniswap is a little bit different, Pancake's is a little bit different, but this is basically like the Solidly format. We won't go into the history of DeFi and how this came about, but it's a really great and easy to use setup. It will be very similar on Equalizer Exchange. But the first thing that we need to do, let's have a look at what we're trying to do and then we'll do it. We're trying to get half of our money in Sonic and half of our money in Shadow. And then we're going to put that money into the Shadow and Sonic liquidity pool. And at the moment, this is going to sound snobbish or whatever. Oh, it's only earning us 50%. Last week it was earning like 400%. 50% is still amazing, guys. So we're happy with that, okay? So what we need to do to be able to deposit in here is we need to get some Shadow in our wallet. So what we will do is we'll head over to the trade section. Just checking the chat, see if there's anything I need to attend to. I think he's just got all that. It's all good. One thing, so what we'll do is we'll go over to the trade section. You'll see that we've got some Sonic sitting there that we can use. We won't do the full amount. As we say, we always do a test amount first. So, let's go and set up just 100 Sonic, a $50 liquidity position. Okay. We'll swap 100 of Sonic for 100 of Shadow. And this will tell us that we're getting nearly one shadow token. Okay. So then what we can do is we can click on the swap button, make sure you're happy with it all, make sure the price impact's not too much, etc. And it's going to tell you the minimum amount you're going to receive, and you go swap. All right. Now, once you've done that, you need to confirm it in your MetaMask wallet. So it's coming up on my other screen. You guys won't see. I can bring it across though. And as you can see, always just check that the fee that you're getting charged isn't too much. On the Sonic network, it's always going to be really cheap and low. But what can happen on the Ethereum network is if it's a very congested network, sometimes it might cost like $5 to do the transaction. So, just be careful. Check what it's going to charge you to actually do it and make sure you're happy to pay that amount. Okay. So confirm. And then because Sonic is such a brilliant network, on Q, there was actually a transaction error with that. Not 100% sure why. Let's just double check. Swap. Try it again. Maybe because I took so long to press OK. Bang, swapped. Thank goodness. That was a little bit embarrassing. It's such a brilliant network, and then we get an error. Happens sometimes, guys. It's probably because I was taking a while and the quote changed, and therefore what probably happened is when I clicked yes that I was happy with it, it wasn't valid anymore. But that's all done. So now let's go and check if that's happened on our on DeBank, or you can check in your MetaMask wallet, and bang, as you can see, I've now gone and purchased the shadow tokens. Okay, so I've got the $2,000 worth of shadow now. Now I want to LP them together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to shadow again, and let's go into the liquidity section and have a look at Sonic and Shadow. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to deposit it into the pool. So we click deposit. We can then come in and click max if we want to. Yep, and that's going to be the max amount, the 43 shadow that I've purchased. And then you can then go and you can deposit that. Okay. Once you've done that, again, you're going to get a message like this. Go confirm. And click confirm. And we're all done, guys. We've now set up an LP position and we're starting to earn 50% yield on our Sonic and Shadow. Okay. So going back to the bank to confirm that that's all happened, we'll refresh the page. It should be pretty instant. Give it a second. Takes a little bit longer to process on the network, so we'll come back to it. But as you can see here, I've got the position here, and it will start earning. And once I start earning yields on the position, make sure that you stake it as well. So often when you set up LP positions, when you deposit it in, that's the first step, but you then need to actually stake it. So come to this part here and click stake. Again, I'll just approve it on the other screen now. And now that is staked. And you're going to start seeing that I'll start earning rewards here. So it's obviously less than a cent right now because it's been in for less than a second. But tomorrow I'll come in and yeah, I'll be earning the 50% interest. Now that's getting paid out in X shadow. And as per the guide that we put together, we've then deposited that X shadow into this 33X to compound our returns. Okay. So that's that for now. That's how simple it is and how quick it is to set up your first LP position, all the way through from buying Sonic on CoinStash, sending it to our MetaMask wallet, and then going over to, so that's the position there. Coming back to it, you can see I've got 5,000 Sonic and 43 Shadow. That's LP'd together, and it's starting to earn me interest. When I come back into here next time on a Wednesday morning, whatever it is, that you guys have seen sometimes daily I'm earning on another wallet 300 US dollars a day, huge amounts, sometimes $1,000 a day. I can then come in here and claim that reward, and then I will go and deposit it into the X33. Okay, and that's how simple it is. Let me just double check. We got Mitch doing Mitch things, banging on about being the king of DeFi. You're all good in the chat. That's great. All right, so The next thing that I want to go through is a lot of you guys coming into DeFi have come from the Trading Academy, but a lot of you guys have come from Bitcoin mining, and you have substantial amount of Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum that you want to start earning interest on. So a really good position that I've used actually exists on Aerodrome, and that's on Coinbase's network. So we'll have a look at that, well, the base network, as most of you probably know it. Um, this one here, as you can see, it's a little bit different. This is what we call concentrated liquidity, okay? So in this Sonic liquidity pool that we set up, we're providing liquidity of the Sonic token and liquidity of the Shadow token for the whole price range, okay? But when you do concentrated liquidity, you can actually push all of your liquidity into a tighter price range and therefore receive a much higher yield because your liquidity is being used a lot more frequent. Now, you could earn up to 1,000% interest for wrapped Ethereum and Coinbase's version or wrapped version of Bitcoin. But you probably would have to be monitoring this like a hawk, like almost every single day, making sure that your position doesn't go outside of that price range. Because if it goes outside of the price range, you're going to go all into one asset or the other, and you are not going to be in the liquidity price range that you've set, and therefore not going to be earning yield. So for those of you who haven't got to this part of the course, you're probably going to find this a little bit more advanced and potentially confusing. But I'm going to go through another example after this on the Pepe and BNB, and we're even going to look at the V3 calculator that we've put together to help you guys. It literally spits out in verbal format what is going on. But let's have a look at this. So, as we know, to a degree, and it probably hasn't been as true this bull run, but Bitcoin and Ethereum tend to be relatively correlated. Lately, Ethereum has underperformed compared to Bitcoin. But you know, if Bitcoin went up 200%, Ethereum would probably go up 50 to 100% or whatever it might be. Okay, they're relatively correlated assets. And that's what I like to do when I'm putting them into concentrated liquidity pools, because we don't want to be putting Bitcoin with some random coin that we've never heard of before just to chase yields. Because if this random coin dumps in value, it is going to sell off your Bitcoin and put you into that random coin which has no value. Okay, and this is that impermanent loss that I'm going to explain further in a moment. But in this example here of the concentrated liquidity pool for wrapped Ethereum and Bitcoin, what you can see is we can choose the price range of, and this is referring to what one Ethereum is worth. How many Bitcoin is one Ethereum going to get you? Okay, so one Ethereum right now is going to get you 0.022 Bitcoin. And so we can choose to provide liquidity within the price range of 0.021 and 0.0227, okay? And that's a 3% difference, where if wrapped Ethereum compared to Bitcoin dropped just, if Bitcoin stayed the exact same price and wrapped Ethereum went down by 3%, then we're not going to be in the liquidity range anymore. But if we stay within that price range for the next week or so, or the next year, it wouldn't happen for a year, but you would be earning 113% interest, which is very, very high for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can obviously see that if you choose that narrow position, you could wake up tomorrow and there could have been a 3% divergence, and you're going to have to come back and rebalance your position. You might be all in on Bitcoin because of that, or all in on Ethereum because of the price change, and you're going to have to, sell off some of your Ethereum if you've gone all in on Ethereum and rebalance your position. But if we, feel that we're not going to be sitting here every day and checking in that we're still in the price range, what you may choose to do is widen the gap and go for more of a 15% variance, which may happen in a week potentially, but probably not. May happen in a month potentially, but potentially not. but you can monitor it. You know, your crypto is volatile. It can happen, but you can monitor it, right? And it's probably not going to happen by tomorrow. Let's put it that way. All right. So you're still going to earn 22.6% interest. Okay. Now, that to me is pretty good. So if you're holding Bitcoin and Ethereum, rather than just holding Bitcoin and earning no interest on it, and just holding Ethereum and earning no interest on it, you may be interested in putting it into this liquidity pool. Now, if you're someone like myself, I believe in both the long-term prosperity of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I actually don't mind too much if it sells me into more of Ethereum or it sells me into Bitcoin. But if you're a traditional Bitcoin miner and you have no interest in having any exposure to Ethereum, then you potentially would stay away from this pool. However, the impermanent loss, as we're going to go and show you, is actually not that bad. The asset, let's just get it. This is in the course, but I'll get the writing as it is exactly. 1 second. So the risk of impermanent loss is often overstated for most established tokens. However, for every 100% change in one asset relative to the other, it only results in an impermanent loss of 5%. Okay, so if, for example, in this scenario, we set up the pool and somehow Bitcoin pumps 100% and Ethereum stays at the same price, the impermanent loss is going to only be 5% total. And that's basically saying the US dollar value of our different position from being in the liquidity pool and it's selling us all into one asset, it's only going to be 5% worse off than if we just held the better performing asset. Now, but what you need to be aware of is as soon as you get all the way pushed into one asset, you're going to be out of the liquidity zone. And therefore, if you don't readjust your position and you just hold on to that asset, then the loss can be further. Okay. So read that section of the course, set your practice position up first, go and set up, a little position of $500 and just monitor it over a month and you'll get a feel for how the volatility works out. Okay. Let's go on to, what I want to look at now is Beefy. And the reason we're looking at Beefy now is because a lot of you might be sitting there and go, geez, I don't really want to have to check in every day or two and, manage the liquidity. I'm happy with, 70% and I don't mind if it pushes me into Bitcoin or Ethereum, but I just don't want to have to check on it all the time and have to rebalance it. Well, the beautiful thing is that Beefy can actually do that for you, okay? If you go onto Beefy Finance, you can find, for example, wrap Bitcoin and USD position. And this one here, this CLM, Concentrated Liquidity Pool Manager, what it will do for you is it will keep you in that price range to kind of not necessarily guarantee you 60%, but it'll rebalance you automatically and ensure that whatever percent is available, that you are getting that. It's not going to push you outside of that. Okay. So really, really cool tool to use. We won't go into the example of that tonight, but I strongly encourage you guys to check out Beefy and some positions that are available. Consider, for example, right now, let's have a look at this one here. Okay. Consider yourself someone who doesn't have any exposure to the crypto market right now. What you can do is you could go and buy, say, $10,000 of USDC. You could then swap some of that USDC for Coinbase's Bitcoin, and you could put it into this liquidity pool. Now, the great thing, and this is the part of this session where I'm talking about using impermanent loss to your advantage. The great thing about these liquidity pools is you can actually dollar cost average into Bitcoin as if its price goes down, or dollar cost average out of Bitcoin and take profits as the price goes up. So you would basically right now put in you'd have $10,000 of USDC. You would swap $5,000 of your USDC for Bitcoin. You would put both of those assets into the liquidity pool, okay? And then Bitcoin's price is currently at whatever it is, 83, 85,000. If Bitcoin's price starts to drop, what's going to happen is it's going to sell off some of your USDC and buy Bitcoin. And that's not a bad thing, right? Because as the price drops, you're dollar cost averaging into more Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's price dropped all the way to 50,000, then you've slowly sold off USDC and naturally bought more into Bitcoin. And that's an effective strategy in itself. In the alternative scenario, if Bitcoin starts to run and goes to 80, 90, 100, 110, 120,000, it's naturally going to sell off some of your Bitcoin and put you into USDC, which is taking profits along the way. So often at the end of a month, and I'm looking at the cryptocurrency market, when Bitcoin is at these pivot points, like it is right now, people are kind of half, is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? I'm not 100% sure. It's a great time, in my personal opinion, and what I tend to do in these times is rather than just buy Bitcoin, I will buy half Bitcoin, put it with half USDC, put it into this pool, earn 70% interest over the next year if I want to. Over the next year, I'm going to earn 70% interest. Now we're in a position that if the market just trades sideways for a whole year, no problem. I've made 70% interest. If the market pumps up, no problem. It's sold some of my Bitcoin into more USDC and taken profit for me, and I'm still earning 70% interest. If the market dumps, no problem. It's sold off some of that USDC naturally for me and bought into Bitcoin. Okay? So this is why impermanent loss is overstated as a negative thing. It can actually be used very, very effectively for you as a strategy to dollar cost average in and dollar cost average out, particularly when you pair it with USDC. Okay? I won't go into too much more liquidity pool stuff because the concentrated liquidity pool strategies, you're probably going to have to rewatch some of what I've been through here. It does get a little bit complicated, but hopefully once you guys do rewatch or from watching right now, you guys, and if you've done the course, a lot of that will make a lot more sense, have started to pick up on how you can start using these liquidity pools to earn interest and perform dollar cost averaging strategies. Okay. Of course, we have linked. Thanks, Rick. Good to hear that makes sense. It's hard for me also to describe and explain these things. They are a little bit more complex in the numbers and everything, but hopefully that was explained well and at least gives you an example. And if not, I'm sure it'll make a lot more sense after you guys rewatch it if you need to. Now, this liquidity V3 concentrated liquidity pool calculator is absolutely brilliant. Going to this part of the slideshow, I'm just going to go and skip to this one here. So this is the Pepe and BNB position. And basically, as you can see, in this example of concentrated liquidity, we are providing Bitcoin and Pepe as the two coins, okay? And we're setting the price range as, I'm not even going to try to read this number. I think it's like 73,969, maybe 73 million, whatever it is. 73,964,000. Let's just call it that. That is the minimum price, the lower range. And then the max price range has been set at 998 and the rest of it. Okay. So those are the two price ranges of BNB compared to Pepe. And the current price when I did this example was at the 86 level. So let's just call it 73 as the low level, 86 is the current price, and then 98 is the upper level. Okay. Now, and this calculator shows us this information once we enter it all in. So you put in the current price of Pepe over here. You put in the current price of BNB over here. It tells you what the BNB Pepe quote is. And then this section 1 here tells you that if we see a negative 13% variance, then it's going to sell us all into BNB. If we see a positive 16% variance, then it's going to sell us all into Pepe. Okay, so use that V3 calculator to calculate where these things happen, and you could change that. You could decide, well, no, I don't want to be all sold into BNB if there's only a 13% drop. I would only want to go all into BNB if there was a much bigger drop, like 40% or 50%. So you can key that in, and then that you can set up the position to do exactly that for you, and it's going to tell you how much interest in the meantime that's going to earn you. Okay, so use that. I'll probably make another video outside of this AMA on exactly how to set up this Pepe BNB position and how to use the V3 calculator, because I think we're getting onto time. I wanted this to go for about an hour. Okay. Alrighty. So just a recap on that impermanent loss. I think that the best thing you guys can do is obviously read this section of the course. So head to, it's in like one of the module 1 or 2, go to the impermanent loss section, read all that, understand it. Just to recap here, impermanent loss can be used as a strategy. So you can use it, you can positively correlate assets, and that'll pretty much avoid impermanent loss. For example, if you use USDT and USDC and put them into a pool, well, if USDT goes up 10%, which it doesn't, it's a stable coin, but if it did, then we'd probably see a similar thing happen, right? They're stable. They're not really fluctuating, so you can just farm stable coins and you don't have to worry so much about the impermanent loss. Same as probably a better example, Sonic compared to Wrap Sonic. If Sonic goes up 10%, Wrap Sonic is almost definitely going to go up 10%. It's just the wrapped version of it. So you could pair those two assets together and earn interest rather than just holding just Sonic. Okay. Ethereum and staked Ethereum, or ST, the Lido version of Ethereum, you can put those two together. And then similar, you can use like what we were saying, Bitcoin and USDC to create strategies where you're dollar cost averaging in and dollar cost averaging out. Okay. So don't be scared of it. And even if you did do something like Bitcoin and Ethereum, there would need to be a 100% price change between the two for you to actually only have a 5% worse position as of just holding the asset that went up more. Okay. Hopefully that all makes sense. Final thing to touch on this AMA for tonight is going to be airdrops. Okay. Airdrops is what I like to call cream on top of the cake. All of these liquidity pools that you're setting up, whether it be Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and USDC, BNB and Pepe, whatever it is, staking on Hyperliquid, all of these things that you're doing as a part of your DeFi portfolio will open you up to earn airdrops. There's two types of airdrops that you can earn. One is obviously your passive airdrops, and that's for just doing things that you're already doing. A great example I used was back in the day, the Arbitrum airdrop of around 20,000 US dollars. We were already on the Arbitrum network. We were already doing things on Beefy Finance and earning yields on the Arbitrum network. And in reward for us doing that, we got the Arbitrum network airdrop. Okay. There's also the other type of airdrops, which are more like hunting airdrops. And those are the ones that Hish is posting in here. If you have spare time, everyone's in different parts of their lives. Maybe you're on a holiday, maybe you just have spare time on your weekend, maybe you're retired. If you have spare time and you actively want to make more money, you could potentially look at some of these airdrops that Hish is posting and follow the steps to qualify for them. You never really know how much they're going to be worth. Sometimes they're $500, sometimes they're $100, sometimes they're thousands of dollars. But the fire emojis that Hish puts next to them outlines, how valuable we feel they are going to be. Okay. Now that is pretty much everything for tonight, guys. We will go into a quick Q&A. If anyone wants to post in any questions, I will of course answer them. I think what we will most likely do is follow up in the Discord, to be honest. Let everyone get to their dinners and their family and whatnot. But post your Q&A questions into the Discord, and Hish and I will come and we'll come back to them. We can also do another live AMA later on in a month's time or so, or a week's time if we really need to. We'll just see where everyone's at and how everyone digests this one. But thank you so much to everyone for joining in. We really want you guys to do as well as possible. And the most important thing that you guys can do is what you paid for, the course. Make sure that you get through it. Start small, set up a few positions, get comfortable with it all. Use Hish. Make sure you if you're stuck at all, you're worried, you don't understand something, pop it into the Discord. And yeah, looking forward to it, guys. This information will change the way that you manage your whole crypto portfolio. Once you start really understanding that you can compound interest, you can sell yields off into stable coins to buy into coins that you love when the market crashes. It'll really change the way that you look at the crypto market, and particularly now when the market is quite stagnant and boring. People who have been with us a long time and earning a lot of interest on their positions, we're licking our chops. We're earning a lot of money on the side still. It really enhances your strategy in general. So there's so much more to go through. Hopefully that helps, guys. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Pop all your questions into the Discord. I will post this tomorrow morning. I think someone asked when it will be posted. I'll post that into tomorrow morning. And yeah, everyone enjoy your nights, and we will speak with you all soon. Take care.